Hello, guys. Welcome back. Um, Hope everybody is having a good weekend so far. The date today is December 8th, 2024. Um, First, let's review the Bitcoin price. So today, the price remains at 99,000, a little over $500 dollars. And really the point of today's video is to review the Bitcoin price as well as the dominance as usual. And I would like to talk about one other project that I had been investing in the past 1 year, that I do find interesting, and I'd be more than happy to share that with you guys and see what your thoughts are. In terms of the Bitcoin price, a lot of people are worried whether, the top is here, whether it's actually going to drop from here. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that are in a way fear-mongering. Um, yeah, the thing I'll say is just be patient. You know, we're trying to run a marathon here, not a sprint. So, like I've said before, on my other platform, our goal is around fall of 2025 in terms of the top of the bull cycle. So, let's try to remain patient. Um, just dollar cost average if needed. Of course, that's not financial advice, but I'm fairly happy with this price. We knew that the $100,000 mark would not be an easy price point to break through and remain above. So to me, this is quite expected. As you can see over here, if you've noticed, this is something different from the previous chart that I've shown on this channel. It is the Pi Cycle Top Indicator, one of the indicators that I do use whenever I'm analyzing Bitcoin and the bull cycle as a whole. I will say, even the Pi Cycle Top Indicator, I do consider the lagging indicator. And on my last video, um, somebody made a comment, regardless of whether it was a spam or not, which was a good point, and that is, well, we cannot just look at TA, technical analysis alone when analyzing Bitcoin. We do have to think about the story, the narrative, and the macroeconomics as a whole. And I do agree. The only thing I'll say to that is it's actually very difficult to, read the news, look at the macroeconomics, and quantify what they'll exactly do to the price. You may be able to hypothesize the general movement of the price, but it's actually very difficult to trade, um, off those narratives in a way. So that's why I look at technical analysis. What is my interpretation of TA in general? I do think that TA as a whole is a lagging indicator, and it is simply a reflection of the collection of events and narratives that contribute to the price movement. So, for example, what do I exactly mean by that? Let's say I start to see a pi cycle top forming. So if you go back to 2021. Now, this pi cycle top happening is not some sort of, magical quantitative finding, right? This is most likely the result of a series of events or some byproduct of market making um, that has resulted in this finding. But regardless, it is more likely a lagging indicator. Does that make sense? So, you know, this happened because of some real world event, rather than you look at this and that will predict some sort of real life event that will happen in the future. At least that's been my experience. So that's how interpret TA. That's my approach to technical analysis in general. That said, like I said before, um, what I'm trying to accomplish as a retail investor is catching the wave. So I do believe that there is enough time to exit or enter a market by looking at the technical analysis, even if it's lagging. It'd have to be some sort of, you know, black swan event, some sort of, great recession where something drastically changes overnight, where the price will drop before the indicators necessarily reflect it. And another point to make is that's why I look at, longer term indicators, meaning I'm not necessarily looking at the indicators in the range of, minutes to hours. I'm either looking at a daily chart or a weekly chart or a monthly chart. So I make sure that there's enough duration in between any potential technical indication and a real world event happening. Okay. And we'll talk about Pi Cycle Top more later. But for now, just keep in mind that I do like using this indicator. Let's talk about Bitcoin dominance quickly. So let me just turn this off. So we remain in the 55% range. That's totally fine. I don't know which direction it's heading. Most likely towards the bottom if people continue to exit Bitcoin at this quote unquote local top or rotate into altcoins, or not even rotation, but just new investors investing more into altcoin rather than Bitcoin, which is definitely a possibility. So for today, I did want to go over one project, and the name is Vector Space Biosciences. Um, and so how did I come across this project? Well, it was actually a long time ago, maybe like a year or two ago, um, you know, well before the start of the current halving cycle, the current cycle's halving date, if you will. And I believe it was just a random YouTube video that I came across. And they're sort of talking about projects from the past that may rebound this bull cycle, and this was one of them. So I read through what they had to say. Um, you can read about it on their actual website, but they say to establish a lunar base or go to Mars, understanding how to protect and repair the human body during space flight is a necessity. And they use certain keywords such as biological language modeling, generative AI, protein sequence matching, etc., etc. That enables the development of countermeasures against diseases associated with stressors resulting from human spaceflight. Countermeasures not only protect humans in space, but also double as new forms of precision medicine for all mankind. So I thought it was an interesting project. I'm not quite confident in the viability, but something, if it were to come to fruition, then certainly it would be an interesting project. So I did allocate a little bit of my portfolio into Vector Space Biosciences. You can see the partners and collaborators that they've listed on their website. This is coinmarketcap.com, so you can see some of the financials, the statistics on this page, and it's on the Ethereum network. So right now, the way I am investing in this is through Coinbase Wallet. You can simply swap your Ethereum um, to Vector Space, which the ticker is VXV. It's not their only ticker under this company, but I would welcome you and highly recommend that you do your own research, read more about the company and the different investment options that they offer. Just looking at the price chart itself, so this was back in 2021. So they've been around for quite some time. At least according to this chart, they did have a high of, 17-ish dollars. And right now it's trading at 70, 71 cents. So the upside potential is pretty significant. Um, I bought it maybe a year ago, and I've been holding, you know, hodling, if you will, holding on to for dear life for the past year. And I did not mind holding on to it because it was not a significant portion of my portfolio at all. Um, and you can see it went down as low as 17 cents, and more recently 12, 13 cents. So it's definitely been a journey, but again, I wasn't too stressed out about it. And you don't have to follow my strategy, of course. This is just for educational purpose and it's not financial advice. But just keep in mind, I always try to invest an amount that I'm comfortable with, especially if I don't have a full grip of what the viability or, future outcome of this project will be. So then, apart from the company being interesting, what else am I looking for? And really, you know, a, a significant part of that decision was risking um, with a potential goal of, you know, reaching a price target that is similar to back in 2021. Um, and what I mean by that is I want to see if this will eventually go back to 17, $18. And, it doesn't have to be a large amount, but as you can see, it would at least have to 10x from here and potentially 20x. So I thought the risk to reward ratio was significant enough. And so I decided to put some money in it. If I lose it all, of course, you know, I wouldn't be happy about it, but that is the risk that I'm willing to take um, to see if I can profit off of this. So, check it out, see if you're interested. Um, I don't get anything out of promoting this project. I'm really on the same boat as any of you watching this video. I literally ran into it by chance. Somebody else was talking about it on their YouTube video, and I thought it was an interesting project. But who knows? Um, so we'll see. So I think that's all I have for today. Thank you once again for watching and listening. I really do appreciate all the support and comments. Um, this coming week, we'll continue to talk about the markets. Holiday season is here, and people are not as active usually during the holiday seasons. But since it is a bull cycle, we'll see if it's going to be a different story this holiday season. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, thank you guys.